Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the midweek market update. So, guys, on this session, I'm going to be updating you on the pairs that we've been analyzing at the start of the week, how have they been progressing, and forecasting any additional interest that we are looking to take on these pairs. So now, guys, I did make a few changes on to my watch list. I did remove a few pairs, and I also did end up adding a new pairs. So we still have KCH here from the previous session. The only replacement has been the NZD, AUD, NZD. So I'm just going to give you a breakdown of AUD, NZD. But as for the rest of the pairs that I removed, they weren't aligning according to my trading plan. So that's why I ended up doing what? That's why I ended up removing those pairs off my watch list. So yeah, guys, without wasting any time, let me give you a breakdown on this pair since it's a new entry, give you a thought process why I ended up adding this pair on to my watch list. So coming into the high time frame with this one, this is the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we can see price giving us what this sharp impulsive movement, and then price starting to do it to move sideways, giving us what this corrective structure. Now this corrective structure, it did form a breakout over here. So this is having what the higher probability of continuing to impulse all the way to the downside. And now if we're jumping onto our daily time frame, so on the daily time frame, what did I see on this one? So on the daily coming, this was what my short impulsive movement, and as I align this like so, this was giving me what my overall corrective structure. So let me align this proper like so. So this was giving me what? This was giving me a breakout. So with this one, I was anticipating for price, or I am anticipating for price to do it, to have a higher probability of impulsing all the way to the downside. As you can see, just like price has been doing previously over here, with what these multiple continuations. As you can see over here. Now, as we're jumping into what our mid-time frame. So on the mid-time frame, this pattern is now appearing even more clearer, as I'm aligning it nicely like so. And you can see that price is giving us what this impulsive movement, and now this is acting as what is a corrective structure. As you can see, this small corrective structure. So this is having what the higher probability of continuing to impulse all the way to the downside. And now coming on to what our lower time frame. So what are we looking for on the lower time frame in terms of our entry? So the entry that I'm focusing on, this one, looks something like this. So price is already giving me this impulsive movement. So all that I'm looking for now is just a small sideways corrective structure that I can use to execute my entry like so. So my entry on the breakout, just a few pips on the breakout, and then my stop loss above this structure. And take profit is going to be all the way to the downside. All the way to the downside like so. So guys, this is how I am looking at what? At the AUD over the New Zealand dollar. Like so, hopefully this makes sense. And now KCHF. So we already spoke about KCHF. So I'm just going to start on the high time frame, give you an update on this one. So on the high time frame, we're having what this is an impulsive movement, price giving what this overall corrective structure. And as well zooming in on the daily, you can see price giving what this continuation pattern out from the breakout, and it was already starting to drop. So I'm expecting for this to continue to drop all the way to the downside. And now coming into my mid time frame. So on the mid time frame, just remove everything. So on the mid time frame on this one, if I'm placing things like so, then I can consider this being what the continuation pattern that's from the breakout. So overall, this is having what the higher probability of continuing to impulse all the way to the downside. And now we're jumping onto what our lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, what are we looking for? So on the lower time frame, we do have what our impulsive movement, and we do have what our small corrective structure. So this is how we look to execute our entry. Like so. So this is how I'm looking to execute my entry on the Canadian dollar over the Swiss franc. Nice and simple, guys. Because we did execute, I think, this entry yesterday. and it went down and reached some heavy profits. I think it was around 3 or 4%. Let us see. As you can see, around 4.3%, and then price ended up going back into break-even with this heavy movement to the upside. But overall, I am still looking forward for those sales to the downside. And this was what another entry that executed over here that also resulted in a break-even. So this one has been giving us, I think, 2 entries at the moment, and both of those entries have resulted in break-evens. But we are looking at this one. Hopefully, this one will be what that entry that does what that does, impulse all the way to the downside up until hitting what our overall take profit, or up until we at least secure some profits. So yeah, guys, this is how my watch list is looking like, mainly focused on these two pairs, CHF and AUD NZD. And I think I was looking at Euro USD. Let us see how Euro USD has been progressing like. I was looking at Euro USD and waiting for a daily confirmation. As you can see with Euro USD, it's been dropping nicely, but I can add it to my watch list, but it's not yet ready to be traded. Why? Because it's still pretty much far away from this trend line. So I'm looking for my entry point somewhere around there. That's when I can do it, start to be interested in looking for those shorts to the downside with Euro USD. But overall, my watch list is pretty simple, mainly focused on these two pairs and Euro USD. Once it reaches that area of value, which is around the breakout point. But yeah, guys, this is how this session has been like, mainly focused on these two pairs and Euro USD as an additional pair. Hopefully this session was very informative for you guys, and I'll join you guys once again on Friday. But for our VIP members, guys, I'll continue to update you as I've been doing every day with these pairs. As soon as there's a setup that's ready, I'll update you, and I'll continue to update you once we are ready to lock in some profits. But for now, this is the end of our session, and I'll see you next time.